Welcome to the Flip Your Chips podcast.
Where if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Hey, so welcome to Flip Your Chips podcast. Here's not just about the ROI in dollars, but also the ROI in life. Achieving one without the other is like a half flip coin. We're here to bridge the gap, offering tips, tools, and resources in finance and entertainment. Let's flip those chips and make every investment count.
This episode of Flip Your Chips. You gotta got the drip with the chips, sis.
Hey, gotta have it.
Drip, Tide Water, you know what I'm saying? Our official sponsor. How you feel, sis?
I'm actually doing all right today. What about you?
Blessed by the best. Not gonna stress. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm actually thanks to you. You've been so instrumental in my mental health and everything I've been going through. So I just want to thank you. I feel like me today. My brain just feels light. Like I can't explain it. So thank you for all the tips, man. Like I know that we flip chips, but you are really great at journal, do this, do that. I feel like everything you suggested to me has helped me take the power back and not being a victim, but understanding that I can change the trajectory of my life. And nothing changed. I just changed my habits. But I know we're gonna get into that in the podcast. But thank you. I wasn't good last week. Last week was rough, but I feel great. I feel incredible today.
I love to hear that. And you know it's all love, man. That's just what we do.
Yes.
Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Tikoon tips. What we got?
So it's interesting because this is actually leading from what I was briefly talking about. My Tikoon tip would be a quote, be still and know that I am God. Stillness is key. And to be more focused on being productive than being busy. I had somebody hit me up the other day and was asking me how my day was. And I hope it was productive and busy. I'm like, it was productive, not busy. Because I think we misconstrued it too. We wake up and we look at our agenda. I got to go to Target. I got to go to the P.O. box. I got to go get the food. I got to go pick up the kids. And then, but you really need to do therapy and you really need to read and you need to write that song and you need to get on Pocket Option and do the Blue Chips Academy. But we put those things off. Yeah. And then we become busy. Yeah. But I think to get to the understanding of how you get there is stillness. Yeah. I think it's so crazy how we think that we were talking about this because my song dropping tomorrow, Agua.
Get it, that joint fire.
Yeah, Agua, cash. But yeah, when we were texting yesterday, and you said something that's like sometimes you got to slow down to speed up. And there's a line in the song when I'm like, speed it up. I go with it. And I never knew that there was so much power in it. And when you do yoga, one of the last poses is Shavasana. And I walked in the house last night and I was like, I need to schedule time to do nothing. I don't really, I'm so productive. You and I were very similar. Capricorns are hardworking and so are Virgos. And I don't know how to not do nothing. I feel unproductive. So planning to do nothing is very challenging. Yeah. And I will say that if you're looking for stillness and nothing, meaning not just like playing a video game, but just like not having I had to just lay down and cut on YouTube. But there was something that was just so great about my brain just going with the flow in conjunction with me meditating. I didn't realize how loud my thoughts were, but when I got still and silent, it was almost like, when your computer or your phone says you're running out of storage space, what you got to do, you got to delete stuff. But I think that meditation is the equivalent of deleting things out your brain. So you gotta, your phone, either you're gonna get more terabytes or you're gonna delete something. And I don't know how the brain can get more terabytes in that instance, but to create more mental vacancies, I feel like it was too many occupants. You ever heard, I think Cardi B say, I got condos in that bitch head. Like, I'm not thinking about nobody, but there's certain things in my mind that I'm just like, you are in my head rent free. Right. Like, I don't deserve to give you that. So I've been emptying myself and being still. And I would just say, if you're trying to get ahead, slow down and be still and understand and trust the process, because it's just like planting a seed. You can't plant a seed and keep watering it and be like sunlight. You got to just, you know what I'm saying? Let it grow and do its own thing. So it's so crazy. I didn't think, as hard as I've been hustling, I didn't know that the answer to when I slowed down, everything caught up. So man, it's a weird juxtaposition, but I will say stillness is key. and just be more productive than busy. And I didn't mean to make that so long-winded, but
Nah, that's right on point. I actually tweeted the other day. I was like, sometimes you have to be still and let God do this work, basically. And with hearing you talk about that, is think about it. Like, if we're having a conversation and I'm doing 100 things around the house, I'm trying to clean, put this up, cook here, am I really listening to you?
no.
No. So when we want to listen to ourselves, or when we want to listen to God, we got to be still. We got to be, basically in present moment. We got to be in quietness so we can hear and understand, what he wants us to do. So
I have a question for you before we move on.
Yeah.
When you bring up moving around the house and being still, I don't know if you've caught this, but have you ever been on the phone and somebody's not listening?
Oh yes, that irritates the hell out of me. Don't
Man,
waste
I've been experiencing it, and
Yeah.
it's reflective of like that person needs to meditate, or it's like someone will say, "Hold on, don't hang up," or they'll be like, "Let me talk to you while I'm shopping," or "Talk to you while I'm driving," and it's like I don't encourage multitasking because I don't like to repeat myself, and I think that time is very valuable. And as I've been still and I've been paying attention, I realize how so many people, and I'll make this my last point. Think about it in relationships and in life.
Yeah.
You may miss what your wife or your husband or your kids are saying to you if you're always doing something when they're talking to you. Are we really sitting down and giving people our undivided attention? Or is it, hold on a second, let me send this email, or I got to run here. And then you wonder why your wife or your husband don't want to work on your relationship because it's like, yo, you wasn't listening to me, or whatever the case may be, So just make sure that you're listening instead of hearing. I think people are just like, I heard you. And it's like we're not hearing, and listening is very different. And it made
You heard my voice, but you didn't listen to my words.
Yeah. And I know God is listening. I know my notebook is listening. So and going to therapy, if you want to get someone to really listen to you, invest in therapy, start journaling, pray, but be cognizant of whose energy and time that you're taking away from somebody else. So on the other side too, I could be calling you when you got your lady and your kids, and the vice versa. So that it's funny how life just be always on point with flip your chip, and it's always like this.
Every time.
Yeah. Man, but so since we got into the tycoon tips, what's the flip your chips tips, Blue?
I would say honestly, it's pretty simplistic, but master your craft. Like what I've noticed with a lot of new traders is that they'll start to trade and they'll do well, but when they see some losses or receive, they pretty much kind of get discouraged and say, all right, whatever, I'm about to just, try something different. And what a lot of people don't realize is that you have to put in time for this trading thing. It's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen in 2 or 3 months. Like I've been doing this for probably 3 years now, and I still have room for growth, right? But what you have to realize is the more that you, repeat and show up and practice every day, the easier it starts to get. Like we had mentioned before, like just dribbling with that left hand, you got to look down first, but then eventually you're going to start doing all of these moves without even looking. So just mastering your craft and showing up every day, because that's the only way that it will become a consistent form of income for you if you are consistent. So
when you say that master your craft and people giving up once they lose, it's like I think imagine LeBron losing a game and being like, all right, I'm done playing. We would never have sports to watch. And I just feel like I don't know if the people that are trading like have experienced sports, but you and I have. And I think that sports teach you to lose real quick. Sports teach, or you didn't make that jump shot, or shoot again. But why can't, it's like you don't, every time someone goes to the Super Bowl, even if they lose, they're faithful the next year. I wish people could use trading like sports. Like if you lose, it's not the end of the game. There's another game that you can play.
Yes. That's right on point. Right on point. So, and I have to kind of remind myself that because I've been an athlete all my life, I kind of expect that mentality from some of the students, but I realize that we all have different walks and different paths. So it's also a learning curve for me to be patient and to analyze how each, student progresses, like what helps them to get to that next level type of thing. So Yeah. So okay, so now let's go into the mogul moves. I always like listening to the mogul moves.
So the mogul move, since we was crazy, we talk about basketball. We need to go ahead and start our own little AAU team. Can you to me and you coaching? Yeah, fired. Taking
well,
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna see a whole different person.
Y'all gonna see a different
swear. All this calmness and patience, y'all gonna be like, who is that?
I'm gonna be calming you down if you don't sit your ass down.
No, but I told him. Go ahead.
That would be a goal. I would love, that would be something that I would love to see manifest. Like, being that you and I come from a basketball background and we played in college and we played high school AAU. I just remember taking them trips to Florida or just seeing people win. And when I was coaching recently, right before the season ended, I saw the impact on the girls. And it's just, we talk a lot about it. And
yeah.
I don't know, there's like, you know, Carmelo has his league. Like, a lot of people have leagues, but I just wonder, we might end up making a sports agency. I just feel it like Rock Nation Sports, Young Money. Like, you know, like, me and you.
I heard that, right? All right.
We gonna start a sports agency. We might as well start with our basketball team. We're gonna be sponsored by Tide Water too.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip.
You gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah. Okay. I think, you know, you got me hyped. You're gonna have to figure something out. But speaking of basketball, the mogul move this week I thought was incredible. Major shout out to Valerie Daniels Carter.
Okay.
She's the sole female minority owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm gonna read a little bit more. That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
I'm gonna read a little bit more about that so I can tell you. Hold on one second. I had this saved in my little notes or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You don't hear too many Black females doing anything like that in the NBA. That's crazy.
That part, like, I was like, what? So where is it at? Where'd it go? Oh, boom. Okay, let me read it. It says, yes, founder of Partners for Community Impact. She is the sole single Black woman owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Daniels Carter, with a love for basketball from her playing days, now encourages Bucks players personally as a team owner. Follow Black Wealth if you love everything Black entrepreneurship. So y'all can look that up. I got to do more research on it, but it's
it's Black History Month too. Go ahead.
Black herstory. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. And there's a picture. Let me see if I can pull the picture up on my phone, or maybe I can. I don't know if you can see it right there, but she's holding a trophy.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's what's up.
That was incredible. I was so impressed by seeing that. And I know this is random. This ain't really a mogul move, but I'm gonna just throw this in here too. The New York Times reported that more Black Americans are moving to Africa to escape American racism. I got a homegirl in Ghana. Everybody's going to Africa now. It's some money out there. We might have to go to Tanzania and India.
For real. But how you gonna have a name and never been?
That's what I'm saying. So we need to make that on our bucket list. But
right.
That is incredible, and it's actually inspirational to meant to say we're going to do an AAU team and a sports agency, and then for the mogul move to be this lady doing something, it made me, we could do that. Like, what are you saying? Like, what? Us in basketball?
Yeah.
I want to walk through the tunnel.
But you see why Black leadership is so important? Like, just off of reading about her, it's like, we can do that. You know what I mean? So like, that stuff really matters. So yeah,
I'm excited. Yes. So, testimonials. I wanted to know, how was trading today? What's been going on in that little pocket option?
It's actually been going really smooth, honestly. I hit like 2.5% today. Okay. And so thank you. Welcome. And so what I've opened up, because I realized that everybody may not have all the time that they need to fully dedicate. They might can trade today or whatever, depending on their schedule. I've opened up the opportunity. If you are a student, then you can actually copy my trades. So Pocket Option has an option where you can put your ID on there, and basically, they can, whatever trade I take basically will reflect on their account.
I'm not gonna hold you. I never like copycats, but like, this feels like a good copycat.
Like, I mean, you can just set your account up and get 2.5% a day.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the copycats. I like that. Yeah. No, that's incredible. And speaking of that, I know that our last episode was Fearless. Make sure y'all watch that if y'all haven't yet. Incredible episode. I know that was the week that I started trading, and then literally the morning that I got on, I lost my memory and everything happened or whatever. So I know that I was disappointed because I was looking forward to it, but I think that happened when it was supposed to, because we talk about emotional wellness and mental health. So I'm gonna put that out there to anybody that's been keeping up with our journey and my trajectory as it pertains to the Blue Chips Academy. I haven't jumped back in yet because I've been trying to slow down and get some stillness so that I can reevaluate. But my mom is going to be coming here tomorrow. I can't wait, and we're going to be on doing a training with you so that we can both learn more. But my goal is to monitor my mental health and my head. I had a couple of scares recently, so I'm gonna nobody should be worried, but I'm gonna just take this week to get me right, and then hopefully I can jump back in, next week on the Zoom calls on the 9:30 in the morning, and I'm back to it because I was excited, and then I feel like life hit me, and it was like, yo, I just got ready to do this, and I just want to just. Have you experienced anything like that with anybody before? I know it's kind of random, like, and do you have any advice for that? Like, you know how you say you want to make sure you're mentally well. Like I did everything to get ready to do that with you, and then I got hit hard. And I was like, okay, any advice? Do you feel like I took the right steps, or have you seen anything like this?
Yeah, I mean, no, I think you definitely did. Like trading is, like I said, is a reflection of emotions. And so if you aren't emotionally clear, then you're not going to make rash decisions, and you're most likely going to lose. So, and I've been there plenty of times, frustrated, ready to throw my computer and everything. Like it got real. So you have to reset, allow yourself to kind of get clear, get your mind clear, and then approach that. And that's why, and that's another reason why the copy trading is still good, because you can still be earning profits even while you still going through whatever you're dealing with. You see, so if I don't trade today, I'm still, my account is still growing.
Is that something that you came up with, or that was just there because of knowing that people might go through things and they can't always trade, but they want to be consistent?
It was just something that I observed. Like, I'm just keeping it 100. Most people don't want to sit down and learn a new skill, especially as they get older. And so, I'm like, well, this is something that I do every day. If you invest in me, I'm going to invest in you. So if you get the course, then you have the opportunity to copy.
It's like an incentive now. Like, how would you gauge though, if someone, because this could be something to be mindful of, someone just ends up saying that they want you to copy trade, and then they never come back to trade. They just want, are you cool with doing that too?
Yeah. It don't matter.
Okay.
Because I'm still making my money, so it don't matter. You see what I'm saying? That it is what it is. And then if you get like the little affiliate link, you still getting paid off of that account anyway. So
okay, so it's is your so you don't have a preference whether they learn the course and actually, because
I would prefer people to learn and become independent traders. But I understand that that's not everybody's course. It's actually not most people's course, if I'm being real. But we all should be able to participate in nice games. So, and then I've also created a signals channel too. That's going to be free for anybody.
What's that signal?
So signals channel is like, if I see a buy setup or a sell setup, I'll put it in the in the chat, and then you can decide if you want to take advantage of it or not.
Do you feel like if you were getting a new student, like say my mom and my granddad, right, they want to join, do you feel like it's gonna be important for you to do evaluations to determine like, okay, I think that it would be better if you do copycat trading, for lack of better words, or you should do this by yourself? Do you feel like, to save you mental bandwidth, that those are questions that you would want to present to the people up front? Like, what do you think? Or do you want that to be brought to you? Like, how could people know that they could do this if they came across the website, if they didn't come across this video, that I have that option? Or would you like, how would you, does that make sense? Like,
yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. To be honest with you, it's content that I'm about to release soon about the copy trader.
okay.
So Flip Your Chips is the first.
Hey, okay, now. Okay.
That's a great question.
Okay, I love got new things coming. I love that.
But after they finish the course, I do a 1-hour call with each student. Number one, to make sure that they grasp everything that they've learned and they know how to apply it, and they know how to basically read the signals, which is from the signals chat. And then on Fridays, we do a evaluation. So like, how did you do this week? What do you need to improve? How can we fix this? How can we fix that type of thing? So it's a community, and it's a constant growth. to help you continue to advance as a trader. And then during time, they'll realize if they want to continue or not. But if they don't, okay, dang, I can't make no money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not.
Like if I like basketball over football, I still want to make some money from football if I can. You
Yeah.
feel me? So yeah.
I love that. Like, this is incredible. Like that you have a new course or this between that. So we got, it's not called copycats. What's it called? Copy trading, right?
Copy trading, yeah.
You might need to call it copycats, but it's cool. We got copycat trading,
Uh-huh.
signals and so it's Blue Chips Academy, but you're also about to release information about, just so that I can recap. You can go to bluechipsacademy.com, get the course, and then you're going to release Signals chat. You said in the chat, do you only get Signals if you are a member of Blue Chips Academy?
So the Signals is free. Okay. The Signals is free so people can kind of get a feel for, okay, is she winning trades? How is she winning these trades? You know what I'm saying? So people can kind of see that part of it. The copy trading is you have to be a student to copy trade.
Okay. Cool. You know, I'm just wanted to put that back out there because I'm the ignorant one when it comes to that. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay. I'm excited. Congratulations on that. I'm excited.
Well, thank you.
That. Yes. And I'll be jump back in next week.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So let's go to the flip. So, you know, we always like to dip with the flip.
Flip that.
Yeah. Hey.
Man.
This week, we're going to talk about moving correctly. When you hear that statement, what comes to mind?
A two-step.
Hey. So if you don't have no rhythm, you ain't moving correctly.
You got it. I'm proud to be Black. Moving correctly, man. That's such a we can go so many different ways. I'll say that if we go back to the inception or the beginning of the conversation, we started off. I think in order to move correctly, you got to be still first. I think if we're gonna talk about making moves, the first move is gonna be still. Like to be still. Look at stillness as a movement. Still waters run deep. And then when I think about moving correctly, I think writing everything down and knowing your vision. Nipsey Hussle had a quote that said, and I might have sent, it's a couple of things that are gonna bring this to fruition. I don't know if you saw this short YouTube short I sent you. It was Cameron. And Cameron was on It Is What It Is. And I don't care who's on the court. I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I gotta say to you to get you out of your head and your game. I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day, Kevin Garnett was playing against Melo and said that Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. And Carmelo's, what the fuck you say to me? And he was waiting at his bus. And you know, sometimes we don't know, but I remember with everything that I've been expressing to you, when I knew that there's players out there that will say anything because they know that the power of the mind is so strong that if I say anything, I don't even have to mean it. I just want to throw you off. You know what's been going on. When I heard that quote, I was like, oh, this is like shit talking in basketball. Am I going to get off the court and go home and really take that seriously? Even if you said my wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, it's like, nigga, we was hooping. You going to say whatever. So I'm looking at anybody that's trying to throw my moves off or have me moving incorrectly as you just like, if I hear something negative, I'm like, that's just basketball. You just talking shit on the court. Because it's like, I'm not going to come to your bus like Melo. You know what I'm saying? Certain things can get people there, but it made me think that people's words could have me moving incorrectly. Sometimes you're not moving correctly just because of what someone said. You can't get it out your head. So now you moving, you don't even move like that.
Right.
Saying you got people got you moving you out of pocket. Like, yo, that's first and foremost, you got to make sure that you know your triggers and you understand that what will make you move. I think it's important too to see what will emotionally trigger you or have you thinking like crazy. Like, let's just lean into that feeling. Like, would I do this? Am I being spiteful or am I being vengeful? I found myself, like Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high. And it's so much easier said than done. It's like looking at,
oh my God,
Russell Wilson and Future. Like Future be saying a lot of crazy shit to Russell Wilson, but at the same time, it's like you kill him with kindness. And me, that's the type of art that I like to make. But I will say that even if you don't respond to negativity, it can have you moving incorrectly, like forgetting the code to your phone, you know, or whatever. So I think reevaluating who has access to you, because you could be making the wrong move. You could be moving incorrectly because of the wrong people telling you what to do. Prime example. There's a lot of things that we cannot say on Flip Your Chips podcast. This might have to be an after dark type Black Culture Matters podcast type shit. But when we talked about hurt people, and there's certain things that I just won't do. But as my friend, if I did some of the nut shit that we discussed that we seen recently, you wouldn't let me do that because you got love from me.
Right.
I know I'm a grown ass woman and I can make my own decisions, but I know that my crew and the people that I rock with are gonna make sure that I'm stepping correctly.
Right.
When you see somebody stepping incorrectly or out of, they making the wrong step, you start to think, you don't want to blame the crew, but 6 degrees of separation. Maybe you moving incorrectly because of who you affiliated with. Which is why I feel like my whole phone situation, that was God saying like, yo, who got access to you? I'm notorious for D&D, mindfulness. You will not, silence notifications all throughout the day. And I think that I would say even more importantly, if you really want to move correctly, you got to manage this better. This is going to stop you from moving incorrectly. You're going to be on the gram, you're going to be doing different things, and then you're going to look up and you're going to wonder why you don't have time because you thought you was being productive, but you was being busy. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how I was able to bring that all back. A nigga been meditating too. Just want y'all to know, brain clear.
Also, just like assessing who's coming at you.
Go get the strap. What you say earlier? You say, hey. I said, what? I choose silence over violence, but I'm just saying, get the strap.
But I mean, if you come violent, then, But anyway. But now, like, if somebody come at you sideways, it's like somebody you never talk to or barely talk to. I can't even take that for face value. Like, you feel me? Like, come on now, what we doing? But then if it's somebody that you actually mess with and you value their opinion, now you assess their limitations, because now I'm like, okay, is this a repeated pattern of this person, or this isn't like them? So let me kind of figure out, all right, let me just take a step back. And when that person is ready to communicate, we can figure out what's really going on. And when you understand people's limitations and how much access they have to you, it allows you to control your responses to situations. So like if somebody came to me and said, oh, you some trash in basketball, whatever, just talking shit on the court, and this nigga ain't never picked up a basketball, then I'm like, bro, you just gonna laugh and keep it moving? Like, what? No. But if it's like somebody that you've been hooping with or a coach or something, he's like, look, your jump shot is some shit. And so, right. And so it's like, okay, this person has been coaching me and helping me all my life. I'm going to receive that differently. You see what I'm saying? So as far as moving correctly, those are the type of people that I need to keep in my circle, because they keep it real with me and they have my best interest. So, yeah.
Yeah, not having any yes, man. I think that you hit the head on the nail with who knows you, right? Because you might ask yourself, why would they do this to me? I would never do that to them. Well, they know what to do to you. So it's, if they know your weakness, you got to build different strengths to combat that, And I think I might have said this analogy before, but if I had to walk in a party with you, and someone said, hey, this is India, she knows everybody, you should rock with her tonight, she's gonna introduce you to everybody. Or if they said, hey, this is India, she knows herself, I would want to walk in with India that knows herself versus the India that knows everybody. Because I feel like more times than none, I'm dealing with people that can tell you more about others. Like, people will call me and tell me my business.
Oh.
Breaking news. Did you hear?
You calling me to tell me about my business. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say I might have to put out applications to everyone that's minding my business. You're doing it for free. Maybe you could mind my business a little bit better if I paid you some of these chips that we over here flipping. Cause it just be like, I walk in grocery stores, I get phone. I'm like, yo, y'all, please leave me alone. And I think sometimes when people are trying to have, I cannot have low vibration conversations. It really does something to me, because I'll be like, so what are you telling me this for? Like, what do you want me to do with this information? Like, and more times than none, I think people are being nosy or they want to see how you're going to react because it's like they see things and I'm just like,
Absolutely.
I'm not, I'll give you an example, and this is probably a poor example, but shout out to Usher. Usher won this, not he won the Super Bowl. Yes, he did.
He did.
Oh, that was his Super Bowl.
uh,
But Usher killing it, right? Do you remember a couple years ago when everybody said Usher had herpes?
yep. I
Did
remember
you
that.
ever hear Usher say anything about it?
Nope.
I think when you're media trained or you understand or understand what's going on, it's like those rumors can be like, if you're not strong enough, they can be very defeating. That happened just a few years ago. This man is on top doing 101 residencies in Vegas. And I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I don't know about him. I don't know Usher like that. I ain't never experienced none of that. So I don't know, but I will say I'm a huge fan. He's my favorite R&B singer of all time. But it's something as simple as that. Like, a lot of times we are too concerned about what people think about us. And if you are sure of who you are and understand that God knows who you are, you shouldn't be concerned about what anybody can say about you because it's not going to stop. You could be the most nicest person, the meanest person. People are going to talk.
But they're going to say what they want to say. Yep.
So let them talk. And it's like, I'm going to just shut the fuck up. I don't have nothing to say. Like, I don't. I'm going to talk in my music. And I think evaluating all of this will allow you to reassess how to move correctly. You might see somebody do something and it's up to you to realize, am I going to keep moving how I've been moving with you? Or am I going to move differently? Because people can only hurt you if you allow them to, or if their powers, like if their words do hurt. But I feel like they usually hurt if you find some truth in them. Do you know yourself well enough? And sometimes I question myself, like, am I a bad person? Like, but the more time that you spend in stillness and by yourself, you'll understand that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me because I know who I am. I know I'm not a trash basketball player. I know that I'm not a bum ass rapper. Man, I've heard some shit, but it's cool.
Big fact. Nah, that's you hit the nail on the coffin with that. Like, and that's like you said, it's easier said than done though.
Yeah.
Because especially when you get to that level and you get so many people coming at you about some negative stuff.
Parking down the street, coming at you.
Yeah.
Around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why your circle is important. That's another part of moving correctly. Like, you got to make sure you have the right type of people in your circle.
What's crazy, all my circle ain't even physically around me. And I think also let's be mindful that circles don't have to, like, be mindful that your circle may be in WhatsApp, your circle may be a pen pal, your circle may be Zoom. Like, you don't need your circle to be in your face. And I think I was trying to make relationships, to make new circles, and I was like, I know who my circle is. It's certain people that I've never had to question you. Like, it's just where I can be vulnerable and just be my truth. I think when you don't have to overthink what you're saying to certain people, but people do change. And I guess that's the weird part, right? Like, I expect you to grow and change. I don't expect you to be the same, but I do expect like loyalty and trust out of you. And I don't want to have expectations from you, but let's say, God forbid, I could never see neither one of us changing, but that doesn't mean that the person that you're looking at can't. And that's the weird juxtaposition, because I can look at you like, India would never do that. I've said that about other people, and I'm like, she would never do that. So before we wrap this up, what would you say to somebody that has a lot of trust with somebody like you and myself? And we know, like, without a shadow of a doubt, like, we there for each other. But on the other hand, you got somebody that you would say, I know she would never do this to me. How do you balance the trust? Because I don't look at you differently, but that could make your discernment or make you want to move differently, or you start acting different to your friends. Like, how would you advise somebody to move correctly if someone's wronged them, but to not let that bleed over into having trust issues for the people that you have?
Separating the two. You just got to really, like, identify each person in your life, right? So have you had this experience with this person where they don't actually hurt you, or they don't lie to you, or whatever the case is? And if it's somebody that has crossed the line, okay, you take note of that. Is this something that they typically do, or is it something out of the ordinary? And if it is, let's talk about it. Now, I always say actions speak louder than words. So after we talk about it and we fix it, now I'm watching your every move to see if you really meant what you said. And if it don't align, then we don't align.
That was
So-
that head on the nail. Those promises that I made to myself that I told you personally for March,
Yeah.
I made a promise to God and I said I wasn't gonna break it. And there's this like God higher level promise that I do not want to disappoint God.
Mm.
I asked God, if you got me out of this situation and you help me, I need to show you that I'm moving different. And then when we talked about everything that was going on, I'm like, you was like, because of what I went through, like I'm not gonna ever go back to where I used to be. But I made a promise to God that if you brought me here, I was gonna do this. And no different than you said that if you act differently or show me something different, I'm gonna have to, because I can understand if I don't keep my word to God, I won't be surprised if things start to go another way.
Yeah.
You know, so I want God to see my patterns. Like I've changed, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that's a great point, man. Today was epic. Like,
Yeah.
man.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
moving
So-
correctly. Well, you know,
Go
I
ahead.
want this. I want our subscribers and our followers and everyone to move correctly. This is how you can move correctly with Flip Your Chips. You're going to hit the subscribe button. You're going to hit the like button and turn on the post notifications. And then you're going to go and comment and let us know what you think. And then you're going to go over to Blue Chips Academy. And then you're going to use the code called Flip Your Chips to make sure that you get a discount. And then if you want to get the copycat trading, you could do that too. And everything else, keep some signals going. But yes, Flip Your Chips. Drip.
Let's get it. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Yeah, see y'all next Thursday. Love you, sis.
Love you too.